as the kind of pandemic, this world that we're living in continues for right now, I'm anticipating January, February being very tough months for people as it's literally very dark out in the world. And I think our kids, teenagers maybe, are going to struggle as much as they have been, if not more, as well. And as a parent, it is hard to watch teenagers struggle and want to help them and not be able to figure out how to help them. So I just want to talk about something really important for trying to be with and help teenagers, and that's understanding the subjective experience of a teenager. All this is Daniel Siegel's language, who wrote The Whole Brain Child and Brainstorm, which are excellent books if you're looking for resources. What we mean by subjective experience is that all of us experience the world in different ways. An event can happen and we can all experience the event, but we can all tell different stories about that event. We'll all have different emotional reactions to that event. Say like the pandemic right now, we have our different reactions, our different ways of feeling. For teenagers, because their limbic brain is kicked in, because they're feeling more emotion, your ability to understand their subjective experience is what will bring closeness in that relationship, will build trust in that relationship. But it also can be tricky. So let me run a scenario now that I'm hearing from people. You hear that your student is behind in school, however many assignments behind, 4, 20. I'm hearing it all right now. Right. As a parent, you care about your student. Go and try to talk with them. Hey, I noticed you're behind in school. What's going on? How can I help you? Kid says, whatever, leave me alone. Okay. So notice this is where understanding the subjective experience gets hard. So the first thing is insight and then accurate empathy. Insight, accurate empathy. Insight means notice what's happening in you. Kid says to you, whatever, leave me alone. You may have all kinds of thoughts. Right? When I was a kid, I listened to my parents and worked hard. Right? And maybe you did. Right? Or you feel frustrated, disrespected, understandable. Right? What we need to be able to do as adults is notice our judgments and our fixes, right? The judgments that we bring to how our kids are feeling and our desire to fix them, and set that aside for just a minute and be curious about their experience, right? Ask again and see if you can get in further. Use your curiosity. Suspend your judgments and your fixes. Now, eventually, they might need your fixes. They might need your help. In fact, because the limbic brain is overactive in teenagers, or it's especially active, they can use some of us who our brains are fully developed, our limbic brains are fully developed, to help them do some planning and some more practical things. But you won't get there unless we do the work of understanding the subjective experience. And so I recommend an acronym for adults, COLE, which stands for curious, open, accepting, and loving. Eventually, you can get to the fixing. Right? You still can if it's helpful. But the way in is through the subjective experience. And to do that, you need to be curious about your teenager's life, open to their experience, accepting of what they're going through, and loving in your demeanor and the way you make them feel.